Hello and welcome to another episode of Signals from the Inside. I'm your host, Maisie Lovett. This is a space where we decode the symptoms no one else can explain so you can finally understand what your body is trying to tell you. On today's episode, I am going to show you how to release negative pent-up emotions that your body is storing. So if you've been through trauma in the past, if you are currently going through something heavy or intense or tense in and of itself, irritating, overwhelming, whatever the case is, your body is going to carry that stress pattern. It stores emotional energy when it doesn't feel safe. And it doesn't feel safe to express. It doesn't feel safe to release it, especially in the moment. So I want to share with you some techniques and tools that you can put in your toolbox that you can use either in that moment or at a later time. So that way you can get the sensation of being able to fully release that. But before we do that, I want to give you some trauma root examples because when we can understand where it comes from and where these patterns come into play, we have a better way of being able to heal it. I've seen this time and time again and there's nothing wrong with Reiki practitioners or energy healers or things like that. I feel like sometimes there's more along the lines of, it's information. Even though you feel better after leaving, why do you restore that? Why do you store all of that pent up energy back? When a text message comes, it pings you. It's kind of like going through therapy and then you leave and then 2 hours later, oh, I should have gone after this. And it just sets your nervous system up, right? It's because of these trauma root examples. We have to identify where some of these things are coming from. Where did they originate? That is what we do in a stress mapping session, but let's go ahead and tie some things together. If you learn to hold your feelings in, stay strong, avoid conflict, push through stress, suppress emotions just to keep functioning, then you're going to now be able to tie in the gap with these issues or these effects. We'll do that. You might feel tension in your body. Maybe you have some aches and pains. Maybe you have a lot of shoulder tension, neck tension, maybe even headaches. Maybe you feel exhausted all the time. Maybe you just feel overwhelmed or emotionally full, like you can't hold anything else. You're irritable. You notice that you're snapping more. Maybe there's an emotional numbness and you feel frozen or in that fawn space. And maybe you just feel anxiety through the roof. When you're feeling emotional heaviness in your body and you feel it building up, I want to give you some real-time tools that you can do to actually release it. For starters, I want you to pay attention because awareness is key. If you're holding your breath, stop holding your breath. Start breathing. Slow inhale, longer exhale. Most women don't realize that they're physically bracing for impact. They don't always realize when they start shallow breathing or holding their breath throughout the day. So having that awareness is first and foremost. You've got to have the recognition and the awareness to understand what your body is doing to currently brace the impact. Okay. Step 2, you have to move the energy. Now, you might see some people who like to shake their arms out and dance. Dancing is a great way to do it, especially when you get your kids involved and you just put on some great music and you just start moving your body around. Some of my clients will do that. Maybe you go for a walk or you do some stretching. The purpose is to move your body intentionally and move it in a way that it is basically somatically, you are releasing through the movement. So if you're swinging your arms while you're walking, put them on the ground. Every step. Maybe it's through every foot. You're pushing out. There's going to be a visualization piece that you're going to have to do on that. The third thing is let the emotion exist without fixing it. Now that's hard for some people because either it's too numb, I don't feel my emotions, I'm not in tune with it, or I always have to fix it. Why is this happening? What is wrong? What if you just felt it? What do you feel? And even going into not what should you feel, because sometimes we get in that, right? What should I be feeling? No, no, no. You're allowed to feel whatever it is that you want to feel, but feel it, recognize it, name it. Number 4 is give the emotion a safe exit, a space to exit. If you're journaling, you're imagining all that energy coming through your body, going through the pen as you write. Maybe it's crying. Maybe it's speaking it loud. Maybe it's screaming in a pillow. Maybe you're breathing through it. Suppressed energy stays stored. It doesn't move anywhere. Think of it like the Inside Out 2. And then you want to give your body permission to release. I don't have to hold this anymore. I give myself permission to release. If the word let go feels too much, it feels too hard, you'll keep holding. So find another word. Find your safe word. Emotional energy does not disappear because you ignore it. Because your body holds what you don't release. This is why we do stress map sessions, because if your body is storing things and you've got these unexplained symptoms, nobody's been able to solve them, you're on all these supplements, these things are still happening, there is an emotional trauma root that is underneath. When we see it, we have a path to fixing it. So you can map out what the next step is to be able to release it. And release it in a way that feels safe, that doesn't make you relive the past, and it gets it out of the body. So that is what those stress maps are for. But if you're at this space of, I don't even know, I don't know what things are connected to, then DM me map. Check out the link in the description. Send me a direct message. This is my personal messenger. So you and I are going to have a chit chat. I am going to converse with you. I'm going to answer. And we're going to have a conversation back and forth so that way you can understand the pattern and then map out your next step. As always, if you love the content that I'm putting out, give me a like, give me a share, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.